Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Amir Karam. I'm a board certified facial plastic surgeon and I specialize in facial rejuvenation. And today we're going to talk about a very interesting and popular topic, and that is upper lip lifts. So you might be asking, why in the world would you want to do a lip lift on a person? So the reality is that facial aging starts happening by sort of this elongation or this lengthening of the facial fascia. And that's really why people start to you see them getting jowling and neck sagging, because all of this soft tissue that kind of is held up in position when you're young, typically in the 40s, early 50s, that fascia starts to loosen and everything gets longer. Now, we perform procedures like facelifts, and in my case, I perform a procedure called the vertical restore to reposition and shorten that fascia again. But in the middle of the face, what we see is the same process is happening. You start to see the lengthening of the eyelid skin. That's where people get droopy eyelids. Same thing with the lower lids. You get excess skin on the lower lips. And if you go just a little bit further, you start to see that the lip gets longer as well. So what happens is during the youthful process, you have a lip that's typically around 13 to 15 millimeters. If you were to measure it from the bottom of the nose to the top of the red part of the lip, that's typically around 13 to 15, and that's what we see in young people. And then as we age, that lip starts to get longer, and the typical lip in somebody who's, say, in their early 50s or late 40s could be anywhere from 17 to 20 or 21 millimeters. That's the distance. So it's elongated, 4, 5, 6 millimeters over where it was during youth. So what's the consequence of that? What do we see? What we see as a result of that is that the upper lip starts to look thinner. And the reason is because as this gets longer, the lip starts to fold inward, and there's less red lip that starts to show, so the lip becomes thinner. And the second thing that starts to happen is that when your mouth is slightly open, just slightly open, you can't see the tops of your teeth anymore. I should say the bottoms of your top teeth. Your lip covers the entire upper teeth, and that creates this kind of floppy or droopy looking lip, and people start to notice that in themselves and say, oh geez, my lip is starting it's starting to affect my smile. I don't look like I have as pretty of a smile or as young of a smile anymore, and that is the fundamental reason behind it. So what happens is when people come in, whether it's as part of an overall facial rejuvenation, or sometimes in the younger patient who has genetically longer upper lip, we perform an upper lip lift. Now, one of the cool things that has happened to allow this to become so popular and doable is that the incision design has sort of evolved. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, roughly, this modification of the technique came around where the incision was placed along the base of the nose, where the lip and the nose meet, and that incision design was termed the Bullhorn incision. Bullhorn incision is just because that's the way the incision looks when you make it, allowed the incisions to hide in the natural crease of the nose and the lip, and as a result become much more inconspicuous and hidden than the traditional techniques that were used. And as a result, a lot of surgeons, including myself, have really taken to this procedure because the impact that a lip lift can make in the overall facial proportion and the way the relationship of the lip is with the tops of the teeth, as well as the fullness of the upper lip, really became evident and notable, and it became very an important part of the overall facial rejuvenation. And I started doing these on a very regular basis as a result of that. So that is an overview of the entire sort of lip lift process. It's a great procedure in the right person, and I think we're going to continue seeing this as an important part of our overall facial rejuvenation strategy. But I know this is a topic that a lot of people want to know more about and understand a little bit better. So I hope this video has given you that kind of information and background. Very important ask from me is if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe and like. jot down a comment and let me know what you think, and share it with friends and family who would potentially benefit from this information. We want to get this knowledge out to as many people as possible. That's really the mission of this YouTube channel, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you might have and help you understand anything more as needed. You're always free to contact me through direct message, through Instagram at Dr. Amir Karam, where I'm very active, as well as call the office if you have any particular questions that you'd like a little bit more information on. I hope that helps. Thanks so much, Dr. Amir Karam.